for the invocation and the pledge of allegiance. Heavenly Father, as we come today, Lord, we want to thank you for all the blessings that you poured against us. Lord, we want to thank you for the safety of our environment. And Lord, please protect our law enforcement and our first responders as they go out and about and go through to help one another. And Lord, I pray for that it was a wreck on the way to White Springs. And Lord, I just pray for the people and pray that they will be all right. And Lord, as we go into this meeting, Lord, open our minds and our hearts that we can make good decisions. As I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilwoman McCall.
Ma'am, here.
Councilman Robert Gamsby.
Present.
Vice Mayor Nicole Williams.
Present.
And Mayor Country Brown is here. Any add or deletion or amendment to the agenda?
I'd like to make an addition, Madam Mayor. I want to add under new business, G, White Springs Rhythm and Peace Festival.
Is this G? Did Mr. Garner added G already?
No, this will be G, all the way down to the bottom.
I know, but this is, did you add a G already?
Show me one to your left.
That's a G.
No, yeah, should be a, no, that's a 9, is it?
Yeah.
That's a 9, where your hands at there?
That's a nine.
In your right hand,
Okay.
that's a 9. That goes on to 9 to over with Robert.
Okay. Any more, add or deletion to the agenda? Any, can I get a motion?
I move that we accept the agenda with the addition of the White Springs Rhythm and Peace Festival.
Second.
Okay, it has been motion and second that we accept the, the addition to the agenda, White Springs, Rhythm and Peace Festival. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it 4-0. Okay, next item on the agenda, approval of the minutes for August the 12th and the 28th, 2025.
I move that we approve the minutes from August the 12th and August the 28th, 2025.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, it has been motion and second that we approve the minutes of August the 12th and the 28th of 2025. Ready for discussion? All in favor?
Wait, I have a question. It was listed on the minutes that I discussed an ordinance regarding golf carts, but I didn't. I think it's misattributed to me. At the end of this is the minutes for August 12th. At the end.
Under the comments, okay?
I know I mentioned that we had one.
It could be a figure there, we can sure if you didn't do it, because I do remember you mentioned it too.
I mentioned it.
So we can amend that to change it to Councilmember McCall. Should like drop off. Okay,
So I move to amend the minutes for August 12th, to change, he discussed the ordinance regarding et cetera to Councilmember McCall discussed the ordinance regarding et cetera.
And a second motion.
Okay, it was motion, excuse me, it was motion and second that we amend August the 12th, minutes to change from, Councilman Robert Gansby, talking about the golf cart, and, put, Councilwoman Cheryl McCall. Any more changes, any changes?
No.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, motion carried 4-0. Okay, Mr. Powell has done his, report, so we can skip over and go to the, next one, Administrative Department. Reports.
okay, here's a minute to get to. Well, I included a whole lot of stuff in here, and, just want to briefly just, had the work session and business session minutes and information that was at the Florida City's meeting that during the business session, that the information, which had all the whereas and mark codes and all that stuff, and included a whole lot of information about what goes on at the league. And they changed the procedure for having directors of the league, and they're included in that information I gave you about being good standing and going to so many meetings and all that stuff. But that's outlined. That was a change that we made, that been talked about 10 years or so, and it happened this time. The nominating committee, you'll see there are people that are representatives of the, really 16 districts, in, the state. And, we have, we're District 3, mayor of DeLand and mayor of Daytona Beach Shores. Our director for Florida Cities. And I say there's a whole lot of information that, and y'all got some of it, so I did. It's got a copy of all last year's bills that were presented, and some passed and some didn't, and a lot of them will be back up this year. There's a lot of reading material there if you want to really go to sleep some night. I put some information there about the comprehensive plan meeting is gonna be next Tuesday night at 5:30 here. Comprehensive plan meeting will be here. We'll have the Mr. Garrett and Mr. Sager, and our planning people here discussing status and where we are with that. I included in there that I've heard, and we're in a situation where we can't really do anything about fire department hours until we get something from the county. But I did include in there the whole month of August, time sheets of people, when people were at the fire department. It's not all the time, but at least there was several hours that was covered, and, like I told somebody, I think today, since we've been here in the building, we got the radio blast in there, the EMS, dispatchers, And I think we've had 2 calls from White Springs, both of them were EMS calls. I may be more, this year today now, we'll here, so I'm sure this time is more than the others, but it just shows that we're trying to follow up with this, but do the best we can with what we've got until hopefully we hear something from the fire department, county. We've got, submitted a local agreement, for them to, and they were approved for the, surtax and fire and rescue services. Once the legislature hopefully gets through next year and approves the problems that we have from approving the distribution and everything, so maybe we'll get a double whammy sometime. Also, put a thing on the website and different places advertising for members for our different boards, Board of Adjustment, Department of Recreation Committee, Board of Economic Development, Citizens Advisory Task Force, and so that's, just people we need to fill some of our vacancies. If anybody out there that's willing to work with us and to be on some of the committees, you know, come on down, we've got applications that we just fill out. Dry hydrant was closed, have been flushed, before yesterday, but Ray had fallen, and, I saw him today with a big sling on his shoulder, and he thinks he's, got a rotator cuff problem, and they have to have Tommy John surgery, like the baseball players do, they have to have Tommy John surgery, but, he was out a while today, and I told him not to overdo it, because he's still not feeling good. Some other information in there, just various information, news reports and spotlights from various people, Far Lake cities, meetings they're having in Far Lake cities, and, like I say, we're back here in the building, and it sure feels good to have an office to work out of, I not got everything unpacked here, but we're gradually getting to it, but it's great to be here. And I haven't heard anybody with complaints about the building yet, and hopefully we will. I'll soon it'll be all over. So far, nobody's complaining about the building. So I've complained about the lights here, we're gonna have 2 lights put up here so y'all can see my bald head.
Don't make it too bright now.
Okay. But anyhow, that, worked out well, and, I got the trail moved, and there was some, added expenses to it, get it moved, but that was in the original contract, and nothing to do with it, we don't have, that anymore. Halloween and everything coming up, well, that's next month, September. That's basically my report. I mean, we got a lot going on. I'm doing, we got, later on, we're working, adding, or applying for 2 FRDAP grants. We'll talk about in new business and cleaning up places. We'll also talk about, the court case and all on Mill Street, what we wind up having to do on that. That'll be a discussion later on in new business. That's all I got, and I'm just thankful to be here, glad to be here, work with you, and, hope 5 years from now I can say the same thing.
All right, Ray Vaughn, you want to put back in?
Ray, I told him not to worry about it. But he has 2 pieces of equipment he needs there. And, they were bidded out, and on the, first one there is a bypass valve, variable flow, digital flow thing for the maintain the pressure in the line, because if something goes happen, we only have the 1 tank. Hopefully sometime this year we'll be able to get the tank up at Veterans Park cleaned out and back in operation. Because that would be a good backup, you know, another 1,000 gallons is better than none at all. So So we kind of work on that. In the meantime, we've got to keep what we've got, operating. And he needs, we had an other bid, as you see, $12,300, and, that was the varnish pump. The one that he recommended, should we try a third bid, but he's trying to get parts for a big piece of equipment now, it's like picking hen's teeth. But, he did get two proposals, one's for $10,500, and would be some shipping on it, the shipping is free on board, so that, 10,500, the other one is 12,300 plus shipping. So, I'd like to recommend that you don't do one at a time, if you got two of them, we'll ask for, he can send things this year, so like, and this is all part of, keeping the system going. And they don't ask for something, they don't get it. And I know we've had people out here looking at that, and it just water's water. And we got to keep for. I'd like to make a recommendation that you approve the purchase of the VFD for CMW. DW Industrial out of Hawkinsville, Georgia, for $10,500.
So are these two different items we're looking at, or?
Two different items.
Okay, so we're voting on one and then we're voting on the other?
We want to do that because one is the water and one is more with sewer, sewer county.
Is this what Ray was talking about during our last meeting?
Yeah, and
For the pressure testing, where we
Right.
had the pipes burst?
Right. If you don't maintain that pressure, then it gets out of kilter, and you get hot pressure. I strongly recommend it to get that, to hopefully get it paid out of this year's budget.
I move to accept the bid for $10,500 for the bypass VFD and PLC line pressure.
I second the motion.
Okay, it has been motion and second that we accept the, $10,500 for the equipment that Raymond need, in the discussion. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passed, 4-0.
Okay, the next thing is, something that I didn't realize they were so expensive, but I'm glad we were ready to get a reasonable bid on it. Is the backup generator at the, Jackson, Jackson Street, Jackson Street lift station. It's been there many years, and people come out and inspect it, trying to get it going, and the repair on it would have been much more than, we can get a new one on it, and Barney's, pumps, Barney's pumps, came in for $9,500 turnkey job, and, all the estimates we got was from Holly Electric for $18,612, and from Cummins Diesel, $26,840. So, this one
For the same generator?
Same generator, yes, ma'am. And, they were able to, have their hands on being able to get one that is available from most places, but it's still available as of yesterday.
So this is Graham, it's not Barney?
Great, from Graham, yeah, no, that's Barney, Graham. Barney was with this is from Graham, the electric sons out of Lake City. They do a lot of work for it. Ray has really, strong feelings and happy with their work.
Is this a new unit or is this?
New unit.
I move that we accept the bid for 9,500 from Graham and Sons Electric for the, 26,000 kilowatt generator.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and second that we accept the bid for 9,500 for the, lift station on Jackson Street. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, motion passed, vote 0.
Thank you very much. We'll be happy. Any orders? Okay.
Fire chief? Not one.
Is there a reason why he's not showing up to the meeting?
I didn't let us choose and we didn't have it.
No, I mean,
We don't have one.
he walked down the one and hadn't been back to the meeting.
I
I'm
mean,
just asking. I know at one meeting we had, he would have family emergency.
Right. So I'll be honest with you, I have not had a chance to call and talk to them, you guys, but I do know that. You talked to them today, didn't you, Stith?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you too.
He just gave advice
Right, on
to one of the, citizens, but other than that, we didn't discuss anything else.
okay. All right, okay. Can we get changes? We don't have no presentations. Okay, citizens from the floor.
I've got a question. If we're gonna comment on a specific new item, can we wait for that item, or do we need to make that comment now?
They can discuss it after.
They can come,
They can talk to you.
okay, you can come in on it.
Okay.
Any citizens from the floor? Nobody?
The only thing is when they come up to comment, they have to stick to the topic of what we are.
What they're talking about?
Yeah.
They can't rattle.
Right.
Okay.
Can't go into some other topic.
No filibustering.
Okay, we understand that, okay, when you come up here and say something, it's about the topic that we are talking about. You can't be going back and talking about something else that I probably don't have no knowledge of right now, but, yeah. All right, moving along, new business.
No, Bill.
Oh, I'm sorry, old business.
Old business, that's my name.
Okay.
So I would like us to set up a workshop to discuss, updating our fee schedule for, zoning. We should do that as the planning and zoning board. Our last update was in 2007. I created these spreadsheets that pulled together information from what some of the surrounding areas are doing. So we got Live Oak, Fort White, Columbia County, Hamilton County. And, we just drafted us a first draft already, but I do notice that some of the areas are charging things that we aren't, and so we should probably sit down and decide if we want to update and include these items, if it's out of scope of what we want to be doing as a town, if there's any updates that you all think would be advantageous, that we haven't made, etc. So I was trying to get this on the agenda for next month's regular meeting so that we can actually vote the fee schedule in. So the meeting would likely have to be either next week or early the week after that.
Next week, we're gonna be coming forward.
We got a lot of stuff next week.
Yeah, but we have the meeting in Falls City, we have that training session that morning on the 24th. Then we have that dinner on the 24th that evening. Then we have some,
Hearing next
September
week is not-
24th, and either Williston or Falls City, we have Florida, Swanee River Legal City. Yeah, we do, oh my God. Yeah.
All right, so how about Wednesday the first then? Does that work?
Tell me what you just said, Nick.
Let me go check my calendar, but if memory serves me correctly, Swanee River League of Cities, we have a training session that morning, a meeting that morning, and we also have the dinner that evening.
Where you're at.
Hold on, strategic planning meeting, September 24th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Chiefland at City Hall. Then, they must have canceled the membership meeting. Oh, no, well, yeah, they did have it scheduled, that same day, because remember, I'm telling you, by we already being in Chiefland and it was gonna be in Williston, that it was gonna need to come back home, we just sat there, it was over 2 hours, but I see they would change that to December the 4th instead.
So can we do this before or after the budget meeting? Because I can't imagine it'll take more time
You'll read your meeting.
for my meeting.
Because the only thing we have, next, the 25th is Thursday at 6 p.m. is the budget hearing. And prior or after.
I think can we do it at 5:30 then? on the
If that's,
25th?
if you're available, are you on Thursday or are you available on Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday or Monday, which one?
Monday I have a class.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever, your choice.
So Thursday, 5:30.
The TNJ board,
Plans on.
Planning and zoning to discuss these.
and then, just while y'all look at the calendars, on the 29th, the, special events, committee will have a meeting at more as a sounding board for the, for that grant we're gonna apply for, that has to be applied for by October 1st, so. So that will meet the deadline for having a meeting on the 29th, at, Monday night, 29th. And then the comp plan meeting is at 5:30 on the 30th, Tuesday the 30th. We're talking about.
So we're doing
Okay.
the 29th and 30th
Well,
too?
the other one is just, is a, that there will be a sounding board. It has to be a public group that talks about the FRDAP grants, and that we have to get points for that. And we can't do it at council, it has to be, planning and zoning or one of the other boards we have.
And we don't have special events,
And-
I mean, we don't have recreation.
So planning and zoning is, special event chairman has agreed to do it then. She may have some other things to talk about in her meeting too.
Cause that would usually fall under recreation.
Are you put all this on the website?
There's one that, the comprehensive plan on 5:30 on the 30th.
What time on the 30th? At 5:30 also?
5:30, comprehensive plan.
September 25th, plan is only 20, on at 5:30. September 29th, that one is what time?
6 o'clock is public hearing for, public hearing and meeting of, the,
Your budget is at
Con,
6.
special events,
That's the 29th
right.
at 6.
And at 5:30 on the 30th is comp plan.
Okay.
Are we going to those events that you just had?
Yeah, I'll tell you, can't go to everything, but if you want to go, I mean, I haven't seen anything about it.
Well, in the beginning, they had 2 things for that day, because they were supposed to have the, membership meeting and dinner for the fall on that day.
I know we supposed to go to the Orlando for the ethics training.
Y'all go back together.
That's the email.
Emo. Sign up for that, it's in the information.
Okay, what about the one for rural community in Ocala? That was the one that, when we were in the ethics meeting in Where were it? Chief, where?
off
They were
topic.
saying that we would probably need to go to the speech on local, for the local rural community, do any stuff.
Can we get that
We
from
get back
Tyler?
on topic, we can organize stuff in a couple of weeks, via email.
No, this stuff, some of this stuff is next week.
Yeah,
And
we
then
got-
the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Okay, we could do this all at once.
We gotta get these dates together, but we won't be running into all these meetings that he had.
Let me see what. Well, it's in the October, the 10th is, we've got Institute for Elected EMO officials, 24th, you got it, 24th and 25th, that's the city. I find that when you come to all meetings here,
So the ethics class, even is in October.
that's not ethics, that's.
Unless
That's
you're municipal
learning-
official.
That's learning how to become a elected.
Can we just do this by email? My back, I'm gonna have to leave if we don't get on with the meeting.
We're finishing, you know, going through next week and all week.
Okay, if we
And
can do it
I'll
by
follow
email,
up with
that'd
that.
be great.
I haven't missed that.
Yeah, I missed out
We
too,
look at that somehow.
but we definitely need to go to get back on top
Right.
of some of these, classes that they're giving out for free. Cause I don't wanna miss out on nothing, and have to keep my mind elevated in government.
Okay, Robert, go ahead.
That's it, I wanted to set up the meeting, so that we can do it now.
September 5/30. All right, Tom.
That's it. Okay, going into.
Let me ask you one quick question. So these are the fee schedules that we have now, or one that you're proposing?
These are what we have now. This is what we have now
Okay, so everybody else.
compared to everybody else. There's some minor changes that are gonna need to happen. Our fee schedule is set up for under, for instance, for an amendment to the flume, under 10 acres and over 10 acres, but it's now has
There's only 50
50.
acres.
Yeah. Because that
Those
was,
are big fees.
yeah, that was unfortunately a change made by the, legislature. We can't do anything about that. But there's a bunch of things, LDR, involving permits. We'll go over this next time. So I'll come with a very nice, quick presentation.
Okay.
All right. Any-
You first.
Okay, now we're gonna do new business. Okay.
First.
The first one is the ordinance of 2025-04. You wanna read it out for us, please?
This is an ordinance of the town council of the town of White Springs, Florida, repealing ordinance number 2022-001 in its entirety, reenacting ordinance number 2021-01 as originally adopted, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. And I'd like to, probably before we do anything, ask Leslie if she would explain what was in the old orders and what's in the, just short.
Okay, so this ordinance would repeal the ordinance that allowed for gambling institutions, simulated gambling devices, and reinstate the ordinance that banned those types of businesses in the community. So it would basically put us back to where we were before the 2022 gambling ordinance.
I move to adopt ordinance number 2025-04.
Second the motion.
Okay.
Have we published yet?
This is the first reading.
No.
No, so this would be, I think, giving, Lee permission to go ahead and proceed with
Proceed with it.
doing the publishing for first reading and then second reading, so I think it would just be maybe a vote for,
However it has to be.
10 days.
yeah, so, and it's gotta be published. for three
That's
days.
what I always said
So
when
we have to get his permission
Right. I'm saying the quick, the first day we can have the hearing would be, the first reading will be when.
It could be the October regular meeting.
I'll go with it. And if we have to have something in the meantime, we'll have to publish it before a date, sure.
That's it.
I move that we give Lee permission to publish ordinance 2025-04.
I second the motion.
Okay, has the motion and second that we give, Lee permission to, publish ordinance number 2025-04. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried, 4-0. Okay, the next one on, the agenda, discuss town attorney's contract.
I have a question. I've had a lot of questions from the citizens, and I've talked to Leslie about this, just so the citizens can understand what's going on with the difference in the monies, and understand why we're considering doing what we're doing with this contract. We have a workshop. When do we have a workshop?
On the schedule.
And really, this is not a workshop issue. This is just looking at the contract, discussion here at our council meeting, and we vote on it.
I disagree. I think that citizens that have contacted me, a lot of them have contacted me, would like to hear why we're considering this different kind of contract than what we've had. I agree with the contract, but the citizens are wanting to know what's going on, and I just feel like they have a right to understand it, just, you know.
Did we vote on this last month?
No, we didn't vote on it, it was discussed as part of the budget,
We
preparation.
accepted it into the budget.
Yeah, okay, we accepted it in the budget.
Okay,
So what's some of the, questions?
Just the reason for the flat fee of 5,000, just because they've all heard about other towns and stuff that are doing less. And I wanted her to have the opportunity to explain to the citizens what she's doing, why she's doing, why this is beneficial to the town.
Okay, I can take a stab at this.
Okay, good.
So, as you probably all noticed when we were talking about our schedules, we're doing an abnormally high amount of work right now. We're doing an abnormally high amount of legislation for such a small town. We have a ton of broken things that need to be fixed. And right now, her contract has her at an hourly rate. So we are way, way overutilizing her versus the amount we have to pay her. Basically, the previous administration signed her on kind of like as an emergency kind of contract. Anytime she goes over, I think like 375, something like 325. Anytime she goes over about like 15 hours a month, then it would be financially beneficial for us to just be paying the $5,000 a month. And right now, she has weeks she's going over that amount. So this would be a significant reduction in our current legal expenses over what we have been spending. And I'm under no illusion, we're going to have a very high workload for Leslie over the next couple of years that is not going to be representative of what other towns are paying their attorneys. One thing that I was gonna bring up is, in my utopia, we will get to a point where we are actually at a normal level of utilization. And what do we do then? Are we going to renegotiate your contract? Are we going to RFP? What is the post, everything is broken and we're fixing it local?
So one of the things that I put in here is for every year during the budget season that we reevaluate the rate, depending on the workload. That'll be a good time every year to have a discussion about the services. So we'll be able to know if it's still needed at a high rate, do we reduce it, and we would do that on a yearly basis. And just so people know, like, it would also reduce my rate from $325 to $250. It would include, the 5,000 would include everything imaginable, pretty much except for litigation going to court. And I have painstakingly put down 21 different things I could think of for sure. But just to give you an idea, in June, it was 49 hours. And in July, it was 41 hours. And in August, we had 7 meetings. And on top of that, drafting the gambling ordinance, doing audit work and research, the interlocal agreement for fire services, and here we are in September, and we're gonna have, I think it's 7 meetings here in September, plus a 6-page memo on the code enforcement, plus the audit, and we've got the audit general report coming out soon. So right now, the 5,000 at 250 would be about 20 hours per month. It's probably more like 20 hours per week that I'm actually doing. So, but the idea would be to cap it so that it stays manageable. Because I'm even discounting thousands and thousands of dollars already each month, trying to make it more manageable. And I want to date it back to August 1st so that we can kind of be where we need to be. And it also gives me the freedom. When I know something needs to be done, I don't have to worry about if I do this and someone says, you know, I'm running up the bill and I don't, you know, because there are times things just need to be done in order for us to be in compliance. And so it gives me the freedom to be on the phone with a council person and say, and anybody who calls me knows this, let's do this, let's do that, you know, we should do this, you know, without having to worry about running up a bill. It will just be about what's best for White Springs.
And just for instance, Leslie, during the time we were going through the approval for the Hutchinson and Ms. Sanithia's property, how much was that alone, not including all the other city things that you had to handle, but just that alone dealing with Mr. Gay and his stuff? That was billed at how much for that one?
Oh, that was, I'd probably say in July, at least more than half of the time in July, because we didn't have a process. So we had to create a process from scratch. And down to, you know, with Robert, we did a script and all the rules and the handbook for planning and zoning.
And back and forth with the attorney.
Yes, and public records requests, and at the same time, the Auditor General had a lot of questions and answering a lot of those questions. We're on resolution 19 that we're working on. So, and we're still in a reactionary place.
Yeah, because we still got.
We're not in a proactive.
Session,
Yeah.
we're still in January.
Yeah.
Since we're going with that discussion, most of you know, I've been in this business 40 years. And I'm surprised, really surprised when I got here, the amount of work that she has done and it's been expected to be done and done over the past. Before I got here, I have never been in a city where a city attorney worked more than maybe 10 hours a month at the most. And God, she's been out here, been here for meetings for 25 or 30 hours. It's just go on here. So I strongly the way it is, I think we can put the cap on it, I'm sure we'll review it, but I don't know if the worst is over yet. Maybe with a bunch.
Then, yeah, I was gonna say, if we have any comments from the floor.
Any citizens from the floor would like to say anything?
I'd just like to say, I like what I hear. Yeah, it's a good explanation.
Anybody else? Okay. Okay, we just need to vote on it. Well, first, let's,
We have a resolution to put into execute.
okay, go ahead and read the resolution.
Resolution 25-17. A resolution of Town Council of the Town of White Springs, Florida, authorizing the mayor and interim town manager to execute the revised contract for legal services to Leslie Scott T. Clark, John Barkley, Esquire, to serve as town attorney, provided for conflicts, and provided for an effective date.
I move to approve resolution number 2025-17.
I second the motion.
Okay, it was motion and second that we approve resolution 2025-17. Ready for any discussion? No discussion? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The motion carried 4-0. Okay, the next thing, okay, the next thing, so let me see, where I'm at. Okay, C, discussion of proposal, change of regular council meeting from the second Tuesday to the third Tuesday. And, I could discuss that. Okay, when I first came on the, council, back in 2009, our meetings were done on the third Tuesday. So we could give the town manager and, during that time, it was Mr. Powell, a chance to get the budget done for that month. And the, bank statements don't come out until around, like, the end of the second or close to the third week. So in order to help Mr. Powell out and having our budget ready and our meetings, we need to go back to our third Tuesday, and that will help us clear up of the months, of the ending of each month, that we will have a, clear on our budget.
The issue I have with that, Madam Mayor, is that, yeah, that might give Mr. Powell time to do the financials, but as a council member, each of us have direct access to first salary, and we know what's in the budget at any given time. If we change these meetings to the third Tuesday, then we're not gonna be able to go to some of the meetings dealing with the county. Because that was the whole purpose of them changing it to the second, because previously.
Only but one person wanted to change it.
Well, no, but it was beneficial to change it to the second, even though it was her idea to change it. Previous to them, our council was not going to Jasper to Board of County Commission meetings before then. And if we, no, they was not. They was not acting like they were, Helen was one of the, she had her faults, true enough. Cannot deny some of the things that she did and I pulled up, some that she did,
Well, I know.
didn't. But
Rather
she
than
was the
Mr.
most,
Mr. McCall used to go there all the time.
they couldn't have on the third Tuesday, because that's when Board of County Commissioners meet on the third Tuesday evening. They meet first
Well,
Tuesday
they go on
morning,
first.
third Tuesday, evening, and we would miss that. So, in that part, I disagree. Not trying to be a butt or whatever,
Well, we go
third Tuesday, it was
on
the
the
third.
first, well, both of us go on the first anyway.
Well, that was Monday, the one we went to Monday. That was just a preliminary for what they were going to have at that meeting. For them to, yeah, but normally their meetings are the third Tuesday evening. And that would knock us out of coming to some of their meetings, which I think is very important for us to go to as many of those meetings as possible, whether we have something on that agenda or not, to keep the relations that we have started with them. We need to be to those meetings regardless. And that would keep us from being able to attend those meetings. And you never know what's gonna pop up in that meeting, what we're going to miss if we miss that meeting. Because their meetings are not like ours, but you can go back in time on YouTube or whatever. You have to wait till they print their meetings out and put them online. So in our best interest, it would be to keep things as is, at least for the moment.
Well, you also got the town manager, he said, try to get our minutes and everything else done before our meeting on the second Tuesday.
Yeah, but you have a whole, that's a month, not being funny, that's a month away from one meeting to the next, unless we had to reschedule or cancel or do a special meeting. And that's gonna happen regardless of whether it's on the second or the third. But in order to be in with the county and to meet the county halfway, we need to be able to be visible and be present at these county meetings.
Okay, now remember when, Mr. Powell didn't have the month of May budget done, you all.
Yeah, but that's also when I went to the bank and asked them to give us the information, and I put all of the council on eCourt, so we were able to get on our phones, our tablets, or whatever, and we see what exactly is coming out when it comes out. We have direct access as council members to every account that the town has.
I don't have access anymore.
What happened to yours?
I don't think,
When they voted that, when you appointed me the custodian, that, all that would be done away with, just me,
that's right, it's just him.
It's me.
No, okay. But even so, we can get it directly.
I'll share with anybody.
Right, it's still public record, so if you, and especially if being on the council, any citizen can request it, the information. But by you being on the council, okay, Mr. Garner, what do we have in this account? What do we have in that account? And they will answer that. But just for getting the statements or whatever done, we'll lose out more than we'll gain changing those names.
Yes, sir.
Do you mind if I take the podium real fast? I just want to make a public comment on this.
Okay.
All right, Jason Futch, Riverbend News, 113 Northwest Duval Street in Lightland. Just real fast, just want to kind of address the situation because I know it was on the agenda last week before the cancellation. As Nicole was just talking about, was the third Tuesday is the Hamilton County Commissioners meeting, and that's the meeting that I typically cover as well. It would definitely be a conflict, unfortunately, with Riverbend News, just because that same evening, you've got Suwannee County Commissioners meeting, you've also got the Lafayette County Commissioners meeting as well, or I'm sorry, the school board. So unfortunately, if we were to move it to Tuesday, and this is more of kind of just an observation, this meeting would not have a journalist on hand or anyone from the media to be able to watch this meeting. So unfortunately, we'd have to revert back to Mr. Shea's recordings, but to me, that's not necessarily the same as actually being in here, because if I have a question I need to ask, I'd like to try to, address that, or if someone from the audience had something they wanted to bring up to me to bring back to Live Oak, then that's an opportunity for them too. So I just wanted to voice my opinion on that and just kind of share that with you guys, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Mr. Butler.
Yep.
So I'm in agreement with Nikki on this one. I think it's important at a minimum we have Lee attend the county commission meetings. And ideally, more of us would go, because I think one of the big issues in this town in recent past is having a terrible relationship with the county. And I'm not gonna put words in their mouth, but if we stop showing up to that meeting, I'm sure they'll know this.
Unless we on the agenda. Yeah, so, okay. That's all right, because they was like trying to help Mr. Howard out and
I get it.
trying to get Lee out to get their situation.
Okay, that's all right, you got Mayor Brown in here.
All right. We'll leave it as that, second Tuesday of the month. Okay, the next thing on the item, wait a minute, on D, presentation,
No. Permanent town manager's question.
okay, permanent town manager selection process.
Yeah, all right, you take it, please.
All right. So, when we did the search for the interim town manager, Mark Ryan, who's a senior advisor with the Florida City and County Managers Association, helped guide us through that process. And he also directed us to, they have a search guide on their website. That search guide states that the process to hire and search and hire a town manager takes 90 to 120 days. Our contract with Mr. Garner goes for 6 months, starting in June, mid to late June, 23rd. So by December 23rd would be the end of his contract. I did check the contract, and there is a provision to extend it by mutual agreement. We didn't put in there by exactly what, but whatever the parties would agree to. That would give us an additional time if we needed, but right now we're in the 90 to 120 day window, coming up to the end of his current contract. Mr. Ryan stated that the first thing that we needed to do was for the town council to have a discussion about whether or not they have an internal candidate, meaning the current interim town manager, because he stated whether to employ an internal candidate, or if the internal candidate states clearly that they're not going to apply for the position, is something that potential candidates look at. And if there is an internal candidate that the council's looking at, then he would not recommend that we proceed with going for a permanent, because you're not going to get a lot of applications. So to that end, and I'm gonna, for those of you who did it online, I'm gonna pass hers down. I put together, it's just a little evaluation to help in the discussion. I think, Mayor, you've got yours on hand?
No, did yours? I did.
Okay, so,
I seen it.
do you have it?
I sent it in to you.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I filled it out online. Should be done.
Yeah,
I did
I've got
online.
yours on mine. Let me pull up.
I sent it first. Yesterday night?
Yeah.
Oh, yours, you sent it yours.
No, I sent in mine.
And hers. Okay.
No, the first email was mine and Ms. Brown. The second email to you was Ms. Thomas. Yeah.
Got it.
You actually received 3 from me.
Okay. And we also sent emails for staff to complete evaluations as well. And to just help aid in the discussion for now it's on you guys to have that discussion. So the first topic was about clarity of communication. You can either start by going category to category, or you can, however you want to conduct it.
Okay, This is still even. Okay, the first part, it said it's a performance evaluation for Emily Garner. The first was professional skills and knowledge. You rate 1 to 5, 1 being unsatisfactory to 5 being excellent. As with me, I gave him a 5. Because we know he's skilled and we know he's very knowledgeable. And for my comment, I said, Mr. Gardner demonstrates his knowledge and skills through his performance and ability to multitask, and as he does his completions for the various projects.
I also gave Lee a 5 and said he's very knowledgeable and competent.
Sure.
Well, I had a problem because I think I was expecting more, and, other than the accomplishments which we've listed on the website and which we have in the reports, which are excellent, I just hear we're working on it, and it seems like month to month to month, we're working on it, and that just frustrates the crud out of me.
I gave him a 5. I gave him a 5.
But I do have Ray's, Ray gave a 4, well, Ray, obviously, Ray's 4.
Ms. Brown's on, he gave him 5.
Yeah, I gave him a 5.
Not, I mean, Mayor Brown and Ms. Brown.
Yes.
John, she's asking. Oh. I forgot, yeah, her name is Brown. I forgot. Okay, Mr. Lee,
May I ask a question, so I heard you got concerns, I mean, in conditions that we come in here, what are some things I have not tried to do that's been within my possibilities?
Well, I don't have a town email, and I've asked at least 4 or 5 times. I've got a list something here. My request for the, website to be kept up to date and stuff is constantly not right. As far as the dates or things like that, different things that are happening that are not published on there. Some of the spending on things that are going on a day-to-day basis. And I just thought it would be more, I don't know, under control than I feel it is. The Mill Street mess, which I know that was addressed today, it just, the right-of-way isn't part of the foreclosure, and that right-of-way is a disgrace. Now we have a building going up on it, the right-of-way, made out of pallets, it looks like. It's just a disgrace. One of the other things that flipped me out was the Diamond Street, just not including or not even referring, I guess legally, getting the legal thing on between 1501's number, I don't know, it's number 4, number 7, or whatever it was, between the 200 feet and the 300 feet, was just left to hang, and now we're stuck with no revenue coming in from that. There's no date for the interlocal fire thing. I don't expect it to be settled, but I was hoping we'd at least have a date, when it would be under discussion. From what I can see on as far as controlling money again, Don Shea and Mr. Powell have the same, bookkeeping abilities according to her, what do you call that thing, resume or whatever. Why are we paying for 2 people, rather than just keeping it all in-house? And I think one of my biggest concerns is you not having a clerk to do the website stuff and that kind of thing, and leave you to do the stuff like the grants and the management part of it. I feel like you're just too tied up with the little stuff that a clerk would normally do, And that's just why I voted that way.
Okay, so how long do you think, that everything that you just said, how long do you think it's supposed to take you?
Now,
Governor on this one.
okay, well, that's why I voted what I voted. You asked me how I felt, and that's how I feel.
Okay, I have a question, yeah?
Yes.
If y'all don't mind, sure. Okay, when you say spending, what little spending are you talking about?
Well, when we went on our trip, we had a lot of spending that I thought was overdone. When we
What
had our
spending did we do on our trip besides the room?
food.
That was only 2 meals, the one on the way there, the one on the way back.
Okay.
That's the only thing that the town paid for was 2 meals, everything else was provided for us, or just like me, paid $40 for a turkey sandwich on my own.
Okay.
So,
But all
So
of
what
it, and
consistent?
the reception kind of blew me away on
what reception?
the EMS reception, the first responders reception.
Okay, since that was me, let me go ahead and clarify that. Back in May, when I asked to do, I asked the town for the money for Mayday. The town said, okay, they gave you $600 to feed the public, the officers, whoever came by wanted food, because Mayday was about giving back to the community. It was something to bring unity to the community, something we've been doing for 26 years successfully. Previous until this previous town council, it was something that the city always participated in. This year, because we had no one to really, do procurement with, I asked them just for $600. Afterwards, I said I wanted to do, it was something, you the one gave me Adrian's name as far as getting the certificates and all this stuff done. You thought it was a good idea to recognize them at one point in time. I don't know what changed. Now, when I decided to do it this last minute, it was a last minute thing because this is the end of the fiscal year. Mayday was in May. This is something that should have been done, but because we had all of these other pressing issues that was more, I'm not gonna say they're more important than our responders and our fire and our police and the law enforcement that came.
Let's bring it back to the evaluation.
You know, I was explaining to her
Yeah, I
about the
understand that,
spending,
but, you know,
but
we gonna.
that wasn't a big deal.
It may not be, in the best use of time to go by
Okay.
category all 9 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe, you just have a discussion
Okay.
about,
Either way,
your overall.
that was something that was real quick that I decided, as being the chairperson of the Mayday Committee, that I asked, can I do, and it was approved because he can approve it under $2,500.
Okay, reconnect.
Okay, the next is council relations. 1 being unsatisfactory, 5 being excellent, I put 5. My comment on him in council relations is he's always available to listen and answer questions. And if there's a particular subject we're interested in, he gives it his undivided attention and try to help us to get it done or solved to the best of his ability.
So, just for the sake of brevity, could we just give overviews of like the total packets and then any citizens that want to read our individual, scorecards can ask? They
Okay.
can put in a freedom, no, it's not called freedom, a sunshine request and you can just connect them to them.
Okay.
Did we do that?
So, I'll start off just to give an idea. I gave Lee very high marks in professionalism, knowledge, day-to-day operations, building a relationship with the greater community, expanding that relationship to the Florida League of Cities. I did suggest at some point that we can start bringing in people like the Suwannee Water Management District and the Regional Development Authorities. That we're not meeting after them. The one thing I really dinged him on is not moving fast enough for my tastes I also am self-aware enough to know that if we did move as my speed, we would probably just break everything. So having somebody in place to rein in my worst impulses maybe isn't the worst thing in the world.
Those are some bad words.
Also, I gave him a 3 because of the spending. I don't think it's his fault, but if we're gonna continue with $20,000 to $40,000 a month in capital expenditures, we need to start doing serious scoping work on what we can expect in the near future, instead of just jumping on grenades and staying. So, that was my review.
Cheryl? I think he's extremely personable. I think he's got wonderful experience that he brings to it. But I think he's not using his time to the max as far as he's doing too many menial things that could be done by somebody not in a town manager authority position. I don't know how to say it. But a clerk type person could take over a lot of your duties to free you up to do some of the stuff that only you can do and you have the experience to do. And I think that's been my biggest, part of this thing goes.
Okay, I don't have mine in front of me, but I think, some of them I gave him a 4 on, but most of them I gave him a 5 on. I've been on the council for 11 years and then I came back, but for him being on the being in, government for 40 plus years, to me, for a town manager that does not know our town as well as someone that's been here all their life, that knows from the front end to the back end, for a town manager, you would have to set a time frame of how you want things to go. As you can see that Lee came in the middle of something that we couldn't handle ourselves. So he came in and not only, some people say he's moving too slow, he's at a pace now that I feel like we're moving in the right direction. For him not knowing the town of White Springs, he's doing an excellent job. For our citizens, I hear people saying that everything is comfortable now. We're doing a great job. We're glad that we're back in our building. We still have a little bit more to go, but everything is not gonna happen overnight. And for him to take the time out and give us his time to do what it takes to bring our town up, to me, he's doing an excellent job. Back in the 90s, we was on the government watch long time ago, back in the 90s. And we didn't have a town manager back then. But when Robert Townsend came on, you're talking about him not moving as fast. It was a real slow pace with him because we had to start from the ground and work our way back up. And with Robert Townsend and former Mayor Joseph McCarroll, they ran this town between 18 and 16 years of service. And Lee is picking up, and I look at him, he's picking up where our former town council, Mayor Joseph McCarroll, he's doing some of the things that he was doing when he was the mayor of this town, and I appreciate that. He's also giving me some knowledge, and sometimes I have to think and say, oh yeah, I remember that now. So now, I'm getting on board of the things that we used to do in order to make our residents feel comfortable. So, it's gonna take some time, but I look at this man like he was a God sent to us. And he's doing a great job. And, to me, I gave him a high score, practically on everything.
Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap it all up. Oh, wait.
Can I say something?
Yes.
And no one is looking at the long hours Mr. Garner put in. I know about those hours because I'm here with him. We're here sometimes, we do not even take lunch. And as far as the clerk position, Cheryl, we do help Mr. Garner with everything we do. Ms. Brown and I do. As far as the website, whatever's given to us, it's put on the website. So the website should be up to date with whatever is given to us.
And who gives it to you?
Hmm?
Who gives it?
Whoever, even Don, if Don has given us a flyer, isn't it on the website? And that was just last week.
I gave you
So,
something.
right, and it's on the website. So what I'm saying to you is, sometimes it's going and I do not leave until after 7 o'clock. We're here working, not playing around.
Oh, I never think that.
No, he works hard. So I just want to clear that up. And as far as the clerk, we are doing the clerk's duties too. We might not be classified as the clerk, but we are doing the clerk's duties.
Yes, and also too, I just want to actually, give great kudos to Mr. Lee for his transparency. Like, when I send an email now, he's on it within 5 to 10 minutes. Whereas in the previous administration, we weren't getting anything, zero zilch. Like, the only time we would hear from the council back then was when they would submit legals. But now, Mr. Lee, he's been communicating. We just spotlighted him in the hometown salute recently. I don't know if y'all saw that, but he's in there, and also just I appreciate what the town's doing here. So thank you.
I have to commend Cheryl for giving her opinion. I know it's a hard thing to do. She gave an honest evaluation of what she felt. And I know it's frustrating when someone keeps telling you, I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on it. And, I'm aware of a few other things. And personally, I do like Mr. Lee, and I like all of you. And I do have to commend her. You asked for her opinion, and she gave it. And I think it was very brave of her to go against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I do commend you, Cheryl, for standing up for what you believe. And I know that you've said many wonderful things about Mr. Garner, because I hear them quite often. So I know how you personally feel about him, and I know how frustrated you are about not having the fire department, to get out and help people when they need it. So I highly commend you, Cheryl. Councilwoman, you call.
I want to just piggyback on what Ms. Rita said, because I spoke with Cheryl earlier, and I told her that it is important for her to speak her mind. Everyone does not always have to agree, and that Mr. Garner is a big boy, and he can handle it. And if he can't, then that would be a problem. So, and you did that.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, I heard everything everybody said, and it's not that we are against, everybody on this council has a right, none of us think alike. This is a council of 5, everybody has different opinions, different thoughts, and that is what makes us so unique and great. No opinion is greater than the next person's opinion. It takes all of us to come to a common ground, to work together. And the number one thing we had to do in the beginning was to agree to disagree. And it's not about being outnumbered or whatever, every voice counts. So it's not like no one, because they might not agree with the next person, their voice does not matter. Every voice matters, not just on the council, but within the town itself. Everybody's voice matters, everybody's opinions matter, which is why we ask for the input. We appreciate everybody being honest, and I don't expect anything less from my fellow councilors than to be honest. Because we can't build anything based on half truths a lie. As far as me with Mr. Garner, I have been in and out. I was only elected the first time in 2020. But from the time I was a little girl, I've been in and out of council meetings for over 40 some odd years, dealing with my two uncles and my dad that were on the council. I attended plenty of meetings growing up. Before I became on the council, there was never a meeting that I missed. I even gave Target and the devil when they were on the council. This was something that I didn't agree with that they did. So seeing the different administrations, the different heads of our town, Mr. Garner is definitely one of the better ones. He has been working, he works hard. I know some Saturdays he did not go home because he stayed here to work. He puts his time in, but when you look at the mess that he was given, that we all fell up on when we entered our respective positions, there have been a lot of changes, a lot of positive changes. One thing that Senator Simon asked me, okay, how are y'all doing? How are you all doing financially? Although we're still waiting on the general budget to not the general budget, but we're waiting on the Attorney General's report to come in. I felt like Mr. Gardner picked up like he had been here the entire while. I've been here 56 years, Tom has been here 50 some odd years, so has Shirley Arthur. We've been born and raised here, so we know we've seen a lot of differences in the town. And Mr. Garner he's a godsend, as Tom said. As far as with the interlocal agreement, just so everyone knows, because we did not have a meeting afterwards, the county commissioners voted to approve the interlocal agreement in part. They're waiting to plug in the financials, but they did agree that they all agree that we do need EMS here. So now it's just a matter of getting everything together and getting them here. It's been approved for them to come. They voted on that Monday to allow them to come and to start the first part of that interim interlocal agreement. Everything else we're doing is gonna take time. But what we have to realize is the journey that we're on now, we have to have someone with experience. Who's better experienced than Mr. Garner? Someone who's been doing this for almost 40 years. We don't have time for somebody to come in to try to train them, pull them up on track. When he came in, he hit the ground running, not walking, not crawling. He hit the ground running, picked up like he, as a good town manager would do with somebody with experience. He knew exactly what needed to be done and how to handle it. So that is my opinion, that is me, that is one reason I asked Leslie for us to go ahead and do the evaluation. Leslie, where do we go from here?
It would be up to you guys if you want to have a vote to, well, first of all, I forgot to mention that Mr. Garner does want to stay. That should be noted, that he would like to stay on. We're not going to kidnap him. So it would be a matter of how you want to proceed, if you want to actually take a vote tonight, or if you want to do it some other time. Just so that we know if and when we need to start this process to search for a permit.
I said we need to vote tonight.
If we decide if we decide to retain him, are we still going to have to go through an RFP on that?
No.
No.
Sure.
Should we wait for Shirley next month?
She's been keeping up with everything we've been doing, so she's aware. I'm looking at
The videos and all of that good stuff.
she did say that she watches the videos or whatever, so.
Any citizens from the floor would like to say anything?
Speak now, feel will hold your peace. Okay, well, I would like to move that we keep Mr. Garner on as our town manager. And we can discuss, I guess, in another meeting after the budget hearing about what needs to change as far as this contract and how to work his new contract.
We could probably do that at the October.
Is this an extension or is this a permanent, appointment?
I second the motion.
Okay, it has been moved and second that we accept Mr. Lee Garner as our town manager and have a discussion with this contract at a later date. Ready for discussion?
I have some questions.
Yes.
So are we going to need a resolution for this?
When it comes time for like, when we actually do the contract and everything, we can do a resolution. This was just whether or not we were gonna start the search process is kind of where we are. So we're not gonna start the search process, we're gonna start the process of retaining Mr. Garner. So, and once we get to the actual contract itself, that will be a resolution.
So is there a negotiation that is?
Yeah, that's what we're saying, we'll discuss this at the
Yeah.
meeting.
So I guess my main question is there going to be like is he going to ask for additional compensation? Is that something on the table?
But we've talked about that,
Can I say what me and Mr. Powell talked about? I asked Mr. Powell about with or without him as far as how our budget would be if we had to get a new, town manager, if we voted to get a new town manager, what would be the difference in the expenses? Off rip, if we had to get somebody at the lowest end, we would still be $15,000 more than what we're paying now. Plus, you have to do insurance, retirement, stuff of that nature. I think Mr. Garner only wanted 9,000 more.
May I explain that? One of the amount that's in there for the budget that I think you had a question about, Mr. McCall, 68,000, I don't know what it is, 68,800, I think it's correct. Is, I don't have help, I don't need help, I don't need dental, I don't need life insurance, or anything. The only thing I'm asking them, my last 3 assignments, full-time assignments, whether I have to go over 65, I asked that I'm considered a senior manager in the state of Florida. Senior management retirement in the state of Florida is 24.3% of their salary. The word $100,000, they get 24% of it added to their salary. I'm asking to give me about 12 or 15% of what that amount of 68,000 would be. And let's continue going, we'll negotiate in next year's budget.
What about housing and stuff?
I'm at the first side.
I think Bruce has.
But no,
I got spare room in the house.
and I really appreciate all your comments.
Yeah, you can tell me.
And I understand, I've been there, done that, you know, and, but government moves slow, everything don't happen the way. And a couple comments you made, I am going to do some, change of job descriptions and so forth for, the girls in the office. We will not say the clerk, that's required by statute. And it's gonna be a little cost in there, but girls, all the work they've done here, keeping this place going, man, you know, I tell them every day, I appreciate them, and everybody in this town should appreciate.
As far as I know, everybody does.
You know, I should appreciate what they do. And I've got a list here of every little task they do, written down before we make job descriptions up so that it'll be like it should be in the other place. But, in a small town like this, every place is been just about the same. You know, if the garbage truck break down, I've left the garbage truck, I'll come back, I'll repair sewer lines, water lines, I've replaced water meters, and I've left the lawnmower, but, you know, I don't ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do myself as long as I'm physically able. Everybody here can look at me and knows that I'm a certain age. And, and at least a certain age, but anyhow, like I told the council, I think I've discussed it with just everyone about it this morning. I enjoy staying, and plan on staying, I don't know how long, but, you know, elders could come, or, you know, who knows, but I'm here with the battle of White Springs. And I want y'all to know that, and I appreciate the opportunity to do what you said, and continue working with you. And, I've been around a lot of places, but I don't think I have ever run into anybody that has been more diligent and working than Leslie has in supporting what we're doing here. So whatever she gets is not enough, I don't, it never will be, but I appreciate that, and thank you everybody here, everybody who's looking at me now, and know that I'm happy to be here, and, we'll make things go, but, it's a slow process. We don't have to, you know, I'm frugal with money, I mean, I heard the spending part, but Jim's got no money. Tonight, we talked about about $22,000, $23,000. Orders got to run, sure, it's more than told us got to flush, you know, so, these things happen, and big, small. And another thing I say in my defense is, in a small town like this, we have the same reports that we have to send to the state that a Live Oak or Lake City or Tallahassee does, and we got 3 hours here to do it. In some of these places, you've got 200 people. So, but, you know, I'll do what I can, and anytime, any of you, council, citizens, what, my door's open, I've got big shoulders, I've been around, and I've probably seen it done or been involved in it somewhere along the way. But please, feel free to discuss with me, and government does go slow sometimes. And it's the spending thing, you know. Now, if going back to a couple of things you said tonight, if we were a private enterprise, something where, like the generator for lift station. If we were a private enterprise, and we'd have to wait and go through and get all the bids and so forth, we could do it overnight. But here, you've got time frames and concerns, and you got publication dates for things coming up. We've got an election coming up next year. We're gonna have to start, you know, it won't be long, we start working on the elections for next year. But again, thank everybody. I really appreciate it. And Bruce, thank you so much for putting up with it so far.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'd like to hold my vote till after, vote no now until Shirley comes in and votes too, since it's not gonna change anything. We'll vote.
She's not gonna be here at the next council meeting. She doesn't get released until towards the end of October.
Oh, I was still about to.
Yeah, she gets released in October, but her appointment is not until like 20-something of October.
That's okay. Okay, motion carried, the vote is 3-1. Okay, okay, we get some more lighting.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying, y'all, I'm trying. Okay, the next thing on the line, discuss approval of resolution 2025-18, the FRDAP grant, application for Ogburn and, John Graham's Park.
We are working with, Jeffrey Winton and them to get an application in, to don't know all the scope of work, but everybody in here knows that in both of those parks, there's a lot of work to be done. And if we get, 2 months,
Cheryl was asking if it's okay if she goes.
It's just my back is killing me. It's been 2 hours. Thank you.
check, make sure, did you come to the front? Oh, okay.
Feel
Make
better?
sure the gate's still. Get better. I would say take it, ask them to go to bed.
I told you to get it good.
What? Yeah, I haven't been to the store, I haven't been anywhere.
As soon as you walk in, that's me. You're right there.
Do what?
As soon as you walk in, sun stop.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have a scope of work yet, on what we're working on that, both parks. So you apply for $200,000 for each one of the parks. Well, 2 grants, but normally you don't get but one, and it can be cut down to some amount under 200. And on 200, you don't have to have any maximum. So we'll apply for them, and if we get them, or if we won't do it, we'll apply for them. So that's, what we're doing, and I'll read the resolution by, title. A resolution of the Town Council, Town of White Springs, Hamilton County, Florida, permitted to include new recreation projects for John Graham Park and Ogburn Park and tennis court in the current fiscal year capital improvement program portion of the Town of White Springs comprehensive plan, providing grant funds are received. And to go along with the application, we will be submitting by the 1st. We're trying to get money in, what do we do? You have to buy to get it.
So what are we trying to do to John Williams Park?
We go after, they're looking at, and we'll get some citizens involved. If anybody knows what, or down there, that's an idea of what we can do. Just remember $200,000 on the park.
We need to redo it and.
Well,
I know they add some more to it.
I know the bathroom,
Okay.
I know the bathrooms and all that need to be.
Well, no, that's not the John Graham Park.
I
That's
know,
it.
well,
Well, we can add a bathroom there.
yeah.
Well, we can, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
we're.
the application is late in that, into it. But anyhow, I just like to apply for them.
Okay, no, we need,
Well, apply for everything, I've changed.
hey, we saw a lot of interesting things that will work, especially down at, Daily Ogburn Field.
Yeah.
I have a question for Leslie.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't an amendment to the comprehensive plan have to go through the public notifications and newspaper, announcements and such?
For the comprehensive plan, yeah. Is
Because
that,
this is looking to amend the, capital improvements program with comprehensive plan, right? So is that not the same as every other comprehensive plan amendment?
No, it would be because your capital improvements is included in it, but these will be, in part of your budget, like capital budget.
so capital improvement program or plan is different than the comprehensive, right? Is that what there's confusion on?
Yes, I guess I'm confused, because I thought that the capital improvement program was an amendment that goes on the back of the, comprehensive plan. It's usually, what, 30 years or something?
Yeah, but it's sure.
So this is just something different, I'm explaining two things.
This wouldn't require anything on that, we will not change it.
We can, maybe if it does need to do some research and address it at the comprehensive, plan committee next week, if there's an issue. So I didn't, this is new to me, but, so I can't tell you for sure.
And when does this paperwork need to be submitted for the
It's gonna be in October 1st.
October 1st?
Yeah, September 30th, really.
Yeah, the due date is September 30th.
So before our next general meeting?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any more discussion? Can we make a motion?
I move that we accept resolution 2025-18 for the FRDAP grant for John Graham and Bailey Ogburn Ballpark.
I second the motion.
Okay, it has been motion and second that we accept resolution 2025-18. Are there any discussion?
I have another question. So if we find out that this isn't the appropriate way to get this amended, what happens? If we vote yes on this?
They would turn our application back if they find out it's, but I'm positive I'm right, but I'll double check with the Jefferson CPH tomorrow to make sure. And it could be just the wording that they put on the resolution too. I don't remember seeing one with that word on it, but they sent it to me, so.
So they sent the resolution in this form?
CPH, yeah, they sent it.
Okay, any more discussion? There's no more discussion. There's no more discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carried 3-0. I'm getting confused over here on that. Okay, okay, the next thing on the agenda is, the approval of resolution number 2025-19, the enforcement of violation 16652 Mill Street.
Okay, so, there was, code violations at this property, and the county attorney did handle, getting an order of violation on behalf of the town. And of course, my laptop went down right there. Got it here. An order of violation, and it is, the magistrate imposed fines of $250 per day beginning November 14th of 2024 and continuing until compliance is achieved. That's over $70,000 already in fines. The county attorney stated the county will assign all of its rights under the reported order of violation to the town, allowing the town to foreclose the lien directly. And they pointed out that the difficult part here is not going to be the foreclosure, but cleaning up the property. Debris removal, any environmental hazards, and suggested the town explore potential DEP or EPA grant programs to offset cleanup costs. To do a foreclosure is the option, because doing nothing is not the option. So the only option is to do a foreclosure. Recommendations are to encourage a third party to potentially purchase the property, which will then put them on the hook for getting it cleaned up instead of the town. Looking at different grants that might be out there to help with the property cleanup. And other options are to see if the owner will simply sign over the property to the town, to see if that is even a possibility, which then we wouldn't have to go through the foreclosure. So my recommendation would be to accept the county's assignment of rights under the order of violation, make a final attempt to negotiate compliance or transfer of ownership, and then if that's not successful, authorizing me to begin preparation for foreclosure, while also authorizing the town manager to explore DEP EPA grants.
How much you say it's gonna cost?
So it could cost, from the foreclosure standpoint, that could cost about anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000, $4,000 if it's not contested, up to $8,000 if it is contested. Quite a bit of this has to do with filing fees, zoning issues, service of process, publication, having the title searched again, sale fees, and time-wise, we're looking at, it was 10 to 20 hours. Now, at the time, I put in the 325 because we didn't have the new contract, so that'll be recalculated at the 250. And for those of you here, this would be outside of the routine because it's litigation. So that would probably bring it down, but it would be somewhere between 4,000 and 8,000. The cleanup could be far more, probably more than 10,000.
Okay,
That's just an estimate that I was able to try to get, so, but yeah, it could be that high.
okay, okay, let me say this. I did speak, I called his brother, his oldest brother today.
Is that
Hey.
Carolyn?
Huh?
Is that, who is that?
Ricky.
Ricky, okay.
Yeah, I called Ricky, I have spoken with Carlos,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to help Carlos. And he keeps telling me that he's been to the courts, he's been to the judge. He's been trying to kick the people out. He tells me that they called the sheriff department on him, and the sheriff department told him he can't do that because there are tenants. But under this new law that Governor DeSantis had put out about squatters, he was trying to go that route, and they still wouldn't let him out. But on the other hand, I did talk with this brother Ricky, so when I saw the resolution in my package, and his brother said that he wanted to take care, tear it down himself.
Mm-hmm.
He came in April, and I guess him and Carlos was talking about it, and Carlos must have asked him to let him take care of it. We want to make money off of it, but with tenants, but evidently it's not going that route. Ms. Vera, his mom, is also fed up with it, and his brother is also fed up. So by just talking with Ricky today, he said he already have a demolition that's on standby to come in from Lake City and to tear it down and clean it up if we don't want to get the town involved. And we don't want to get the legal stuff. He said that he could most likely take care of himself, but
So he's saying, just to clarify, what's holding him up are the people who are inside the house, is that what's holding him up?
yeah.
Because, so I did look into that, and it would depend on whether or not they're tenants or squatters. Or are they tenants that are just still there, then they're still tenants, but if they're just random people off the street, then they're squatters.
Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most
because-
likely.
But the guy that
In
was
between.
still there has a whole house out on Woodpecker Route that was given him by Larry Carver. No.
Oh.
And there is no water.
Water or power, nothing.
No lights or anything.
No.
Now, if we wanna get the ball moving legally in our way, that we do have every right to do, everything that's on that right of way, just get somebody to come in and just move it out the way, because it's on the sidewalk, you can't go. Then on the other side of the road, they're building something like a shed.
I don't think that's
That's them.
I asked Carlos about that, he said it was the man
property.
that's
It's behind
in the green house.
It's them.
That's them. I know for a fact that they've been the ones putting that little frame up piece by piece. Cause it's one of those same frames over past my house going toward Gretchen's house behind a storage shed.
Yes.
So we know that it's the same people, same structure. The house is only a drug haven.
Well, we could get,
But if we can go ahead and do, we don't have to get their permission to move that stuff up, that's not what's in our right of way, because it's our property. If it's on our property, possession is 9/10 of the law, right? So,
Ricky know all of that,
well, then.
he just want the house to be gone himself.
Okay,
him and his
so we're
mom.
gonna give them a boost, and if we can vote on it, to get Ray to, or somebody to get a company to come in and move everything off that right of way and off that sidewalk.
If they do it,
No, we can do it and build
it
it,
won't cost us nothing.
but they,
Get paid for it.
but they have been,
No, I'm saying if Ricky go ahead and do it, it won't cost the town nothing.
okay, but see, when I'm looking at Ricky's had this way before we got on the other.
But see, this is, yeah, but he had it, he fixed it, he said 2018, 2019, he fixed it up. His brother wanted it to make,
That house is not,
they gave him, they
that house
quit
has not been fixed up since Mr. Howard did it before Carlos got out of prison.
Well, well, I remember Ricky did it also, fix the inside.
But this house,
They did put a new roof on it.
right, but that was all done before Mr. Howard passed away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ricky is dead, and he did it
So,
again.
the whole house had been done over. Then he started staying over in what they call the big house, which is mom and daddy's house when they come home. Well, when the dad used to come home.
Okay, yeah.
So,
But,
no, it's another house that they have next to over.
So
But-
suggestions.
So nobody's really
I
there.
just want Ricky to go ahead and tear it down, so it won't cost the town anything.
So how about this?
Give them a deadline.
Because one of the, issues that I talk about in the, memo is the impact of having a tenant squatters or whoever they are there. Because that's something that we would have to deal with, even if we did get a foreclosure, we'd have to still get those people out. So if there is some discussion where we can have to help them get the people out, if there's something I can do to help you get the people out, that costs a whole lot less if they're actually going to demolish the property.
When you
The only
say,
thing I'm saying is this has been going on for several years.
but
And it's always the same excuse, that only when it was time to go to court, don't get me wrong, I love my people, but only when it was time to go to court did they switch it from Howard and Vera to Carlos.
yeah,
Because that now makes where Howard and Vera say, okay, well, that's not my house anymore, that's Carlos' house, and you can't go back and do anything to Carlos, because all of those other warnings and everything came previous to him
So,
taking possession.
yeah, I got everything covered in this one.
Carlos do have the,
So the lien attaches to the property, not the person.
Okay.
So even though, and they did not file the transfer of property until after all of the notice and everything. And so because they didn't put anybody on notice, they can't really argue. Now, we would still serve Carlos with, for the foreclosure. And if something comes up when he tries to argue due process, then we can address that, it's still a violation, so give you some more violations.
So do we give him a date that this has to be done by this, or just go ahead and?
I attended the magistral meeting last November, and the gentleman who represented the property said that, he would be taking care of it in the next week or two. He just has to get those people out and he'll take care of it. He'll clean it up. So anything that they say in end of September, we're going to take care of it real soon. It's been a few months that they haven't done it, and it's only getting worse. You can't walk down, you can't use the sidewalk right now. And anybody who happens to live around it is not happy, is my guess.
that's why I wanna,
They're in my backyard.
Take you there.
Yeah.
It is my backyard.
when I go back home tonight, I was gonna call his brother and ask him, how long will it take him to come in and clean it up? Cause his brother wants it done, so I'm gonna
Give
give
him a
his brother a
deadline to
call.
do it. Give him 30 days to have it
Look, you
done.
wanna bring him in and I, threaten him?
Yeah.
Really, you don't have to threaten, we can come take it on board
Anyway, what do you
I
like?
say give him a deadline to have it done, and if it's not done by this date, this is what's gonna happen.
Here's my question, because I've driven past that property and it's just got trash all over the place. What has kept him from just spending an hour a week for the last year, putting some of that in the garbage bag and putting it on the ground? This has been going on for at least a year on paper. You guys are saying it's been going on for years and years. I have zero faith built in it.
Well, I have faith in his brother.
It sounds judgment-proof to me. It sounds like a pile of rubble on top of $10,000 worth of land with a $70,000 fees. They're not gonna do anything until we do something.
If he had.
How about have him good faith, half the fine? If he's true that he's gonna fix it up, that he has to put in escrow, half the fine.
He can go file bankruptcy, stop the foreclosure, you know what I'm saying? There's so many ways around that.
Can I get rid of your phone number so you can, okay.
So I thought we should
Expect the phone.
weigh our
call
options and
tonight.
give him a deadline to have this stuff done. If it's not done by this date, then this is what's gonna happen next. So he will already know what's gonna happen. If, eviction notice, if he wants them out of there, that's a 30-day process. You go to the court, pay that little
Unless they're
fine,
not paying.
and,
But that doesn't stop the trash outside.
no, but what I'm saying, if he wanted Mitch out of there, then all he had to do, first of all, he can serve him a notice himself. If he's not going with that notice, then you go to the court.
He said he don't
And the-
mind all of that.
There's no way.
No,
That's what he told me now.
listen, I done evicted people, so.
He don't try all of that, the sheriff department, I pulled up and told me he can't kick the people out, so
You
I
can't
don't
just
know.
go and say, I can't go and just say, Tony, you in my house, get out. But if I can give you a 30-day notice of my own, and I can go ahead and file that notice with the county at the courthouse, so they will see, I gave you an eviction notice. If you're not gone by that day, then the judge will have you come in another 15 to 30 days, and then they would say, hey, you gotta go.
So Lindsay, have you filed anything in the court? No.
That's Carlos?
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything, but I didn't check all his records, I just.
Because of all of this lien stuff, if it has been filed, they'll get a notice. The city will get a notice because they have lien. They didn't leave the thing with them.
Well, I know Ricky said he did get a notice when his dad was over the house. And his daddy had passed away. That's when they got the notice. And they were like, he was like, no, my dad is gone. They did a quick claim deed to Carlos.
Yeah,
Cause I notarized the quick claim deed for him. And that day he was on his way to Jasper to file.
yeah, so that was June 1st of 2023, where Carlos was conveyed the land by Vera. But it was recorded on November 13th of 2024, which was also the same day as the hearing before the magistrate. So all of
We're paying
everything,
time.
yeah.
Basically.
Go ahead.
The thing that, troubling all this is, we talk about all these things, but we don't do anything, because we got something enforceable here, although the value of the house and all is not anywhere near what liens or anything. When you've got people living in there, I don't know what the health department can do, with no water, no electricity, anything else. They can condemn it, we can condemn it, I think it's probably already been condemned, over the house, the notice were taken off by, when code enforcement put them on there. But as long as you got people living in there, the health department, should help us some way, I guess. But I don't do anything that's gonna screw up the end of each by the paper we got here now. That, and if he come and do it, and, I don't know, does that release him of his fine? What, I don't really.
No. So the fine continues until it's corrected, but then that doesn't erase the fine.
Right.
It'll just stop the calculation of the fine.
Okay, how much is the fine?
Over $70,000
Yeah,
right
over
now.
$70,000.
Who's gonna just live on his floor?
It's
No, it's under
$250
Carlos
a
now.
day.
But if we sell the house, put in the the fine just be paid out of the proceeds from the sale.
You're not gonna get $7,000.
I know, that's my point, you're not gonna get that money back, right? It'll just come out of the
And
property.
how big is the property? Is it an acre and a half?
No,
The value of the land isn't that much.
it's not even an acre,
Yeah.
maybe a quarter acre, maybe,
Yeah,
a quarter acre at the most, because all of that to the side goes down the ground.
0.25.
A quarter of an acre.
That's not even 10,000.
No, it's less than that, around about 5,000. Okay.
So I move to approve resolution number 2025.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, has been motion and seconded, we approve resolution 2025-19. Are there any discussion?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, vote 3-0. Okay, the next one is White Springs, White Springs Rhythm Peace,
Peace Festival.
Rhythm and Peace Festival.
Okay, Mayor, Madam Mayor, I added this to the agenda, but I would like for Whitfield Productions to come up and explain it all.
This is good.
Yeah, that's just first.
Good evening. Renita Brown with Whitfield's Production. What you have is our proposal for a festival held here in White Springs, Florida at the Ogburn ballpark. And we are proposing, I know it says on here, but there's been a change of date, on December 20th, 2025. And we're looking to have, Cupid as the headliner for that festival. Many of you know him for the Cupid Shuffle and some of his other, songs. He's an international artist. We do have him confirmed for that date. You'll also see the budget overview for what Whitfield would be providing is the sound, lights, stage, and tech. And then, of course, working with you all on the know-how to be able to pull off the event. The goal is to have unity in the community. We know that the town is going through a lot over this course of the year, and I know that we have the 140th anniversary coming up, so this would be a great way to kick it off. We do propose that morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. would be the breakfast with Santa, if that's okay. So that we can have that morning, and then the festival would start from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can see here who we have listed for the performers. Of course, like I said, Cupid as the headliner, and then additional artists are Glycia and Prescott. Those two are out of South Carolina, and then Tay Dism, he has worked with T-Pain and Akon, and so he would be available to perform as well. You'll see what we propose for of course, the budget, and then the revenue of what we would be expecting. We're hoping to, in partnership with the town, we can get those major sponsors, so that way it is not a burden or a huge expense that comes from the town. Instead, it would be more of a fundraiser, and then the proceeds would be split between Whitfield's Productions and the town. Any questions?
The only problem that I have, it's gonna be done on the ball field, we don't have no lights. We don't have no lights.
Are the lights not fixed out there on the ball field, or there's no? Well, we have stage and lighting.
Get in touch with somebody about those lights at the ball field.
But we need a grant to get everything fixed. The lights is damaged through all the storm and the tornadoes and the light poles. None of those are any good.
Is this the place we went out there and visited there? Okay, yeah. I'm waiting on, I'm getting an estimate of what it's gonna cost to get the electric and central cooling out there to see what we can do, you know.
But what's happening now?
Yeah, because the electricals, it's been out there for
Electrical
years, it
was
just
there,
hasn't
it's
been
in there,
used, but you have.
The concession stand and some other things, I'm getting an estimate now, get John working on the estimate for me, to see what it costs to get the lights and stuff fixed up to house the like this out there.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, they have the different companies, electric companies that have the standby light, portable light, that they can also donate to. Some of them donate.
Cause I couldn't say if we could get the sheriff department.
Yeah, they have them too. The energy has them.
Portable lights.
They only have one.
Oh, the sheriff.
You can rent the lights for about $80, rental place at Brentford Highways, that's what we do with our events.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What about Duke Energy?
They have them too. Galveston and Columbia have lights that they can probably donate. This is something that I feel like we can probably discuss well, this is something you need to vote on now.
We would like to, like I said, we know for us, we have already, confirmed this
She just
date
basically
for
asked
the
us to
20th.
partner with her. It would be
But
sort
what
of
kind
a
of
fundraiser.
financial commitment are you looking for from the town?
So, based on what you see for the budget of what we're proposing, what this could cost, we basically would be splitting it in half, so the company.
Possibly half of 29,000.
Yeah.
And then we'll split the proceeds.
Now, unless we get the police and, IOS, they charge for things like this. And most times police do.
Have you run events like this before?
Yes.
Yeah, they've been doing this for over 30 years.
Have you met with the events committee?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll make a business committee.
Oh, you're on it.
Yeah,
I would say, I would just take my advice from the events committee. This seems like the perfect thing that should go to them, and they should make a recommendation to us. Vote on it.
How about we got to see what our budget is. Before we got to see how everything is after Monday. Oh, I'm sorry.
What about the amphitheater? Clean up around the women's club?
That's not gonna be enough.
Well, we can get it.
No, you're talking about a man that's international, he's been across the globe on one song alone, so that's not gonna be enough. But he does multiple songs, so it's not just that one,
Okay, we're splitting the cost of it, but we're also splitting the revenue that comes, the profit that come in from it.
Yes,
And this is done in,
So that.
December?
yes, December 20th. And may I add that he is doing this on his birthday weekend, so,
Well, Tate Bentham, I don't know if y'all remember, he's been to several of our council meetings at the library. He sat in the back by, Mr. Brown Senior. Right at the back of the door, but he's been to several of the meetings that we've had, so.
So what budget would this be coming from for the town?
Might have to be changes in reserves or something, unless something happens in the meantime, we could. Right.
What do you expect the profit margin to be? I know you can't give us a definite, because you don't know, but an estimated profit margin.
well, if we're looking at just ticket sales alone and not even a sponsorship, we're looking at 50,000.
And then you got the vendor,
You got
and
vendors,
things of that
trucks.
nature that can rent a spot out there also. See, that's half of the battle right there with the vendor.
And if I might add, we've already committed 60, how much is that?
We've done a deposit, and I have a contract in hand that we locked in for.
And what was that amount?
That
was, 6250, so 6,250.
We've already committed, you know, that's why she's asking about an opportunity to go ahead and move forward.
I'm gonna wait until we get everything situated with the audit committee up in town.
We don't know when that's gonna be.
Monday. Yeah, we got a meeting Monday.
Should we table this and bring it back up on our next regular meeting?
When do we meet, at the hearing, right, at the budget hearing?
Our next regular meeting?
Our next regular council meeting is in our next month.
But the second Tuesday is gonna be like, not rushing, but when you're doing
Doing
an
an event
event,
like this.
that's like, these dates are very important because you have to lock people in. But we're not locked into a certain figure with them at the moment.
No,
All they're wanting to know is if we're willing to partner and we can work on how much we're going to
Right, and then
assess
we
to
can
them
set
at
a
a later date.
memorandum of understanding, and then we can do an official agreement.
Right, we can come up with what the budget we will be able to allot.
Right, and if we have to shift anything as far as like department proceeds and how we split based on who puts in what, then we can make that
Right,
adjustment.
so that can be something we do at a later date.
Yeah, can we, table this until October 14th?
Okay, what she's saying is, we're not saying how much money we're going to give them. That's not what they're asking now. They just want to know if we will partner with them with it. And we can discuss how much we are going to allow them to get, or what we will get at a later date.
Oh, so
That's
you
not,
just
yeah, they don't
want
want
us
the
to
amount,
join
yeah.
Oh.
See, the other
We're
stuff has to
giving you a
be
proposal
discussed.
so you can see how much we're,
Yeah.
setting.
This is just showing how much they're spending out, and at a later date, once, cause you know, Robert got to crunch numbers, Mr. Garner got, listen, I rely on him all the time about the money part. But it's just to say, yeah, we will go in with you on this. But it's not giving them a definite amount of, a definite figure of what we're going to give them. Because that's something we will discuss
So you
later.
just want us to come in and join in and work and all that good stuff? Huh?
Yes.
I don't know if I wanna work or not.
She'll work.
Y'all gonna pay me?
No.
Well, the town that you
That's your job as the mayor, you're the face of the town.
Well, I mean, this is something that we never had.
Donate their check, their faces.
Well, I mean, we ain't
The
never
rich
had.
council member can.
Mine are just sitting on my desk.
Well, we ain't never had this done in White Springs, so.
I feel like it's some good.
I think it'd be a good deal, just about,
I move that we,
I feel we just need to make sure that some of them local agreement or memorandum of understanding somehow,
Right.
if there's gonna be city dollars spent.
we'll just, that's something we can discuss either at a workshop or
We
at
need
the
to make
next
sure
council
that
meeting.
everybody understands that that's the, we do this now, we got some agreement, we need dollars go out.
Right. But that is the understanding we got,
The
right?
statement, I don't know if the statement's
Yeah,
wrong.
right, so the confidentiality statement, because everything's public record, we can't keep anything confidential.
How y'all wanna vote on this?
I move that we go ahead and partner with them.
We a better.
Oh, gosh. Okay, a better motion. I move that we, the town of White Springs, partner with Whitfield and Brown Brothers Production Group, LLC, in bringing the White Springs Rhythm and Peace Festival to our town, in December the 20th, 2025. And the amount that we will help with will be discussed at a later date. and the community.
I second the motion.
Okay, it has been motion and second that the town of White Springs will go in with, Whitfield and Brown Production LLC on their event, in December the 20th. Any discussion?
So, I mean, I would really like for them to work with the events committee. This really feels like something the events committee should be engaged.
They are.
That's fine, I'm fine with working with the events committee, we just brought it to you all because we know that it would be city dollars that's involved. And that may be something, you know, on just a typical events committee.
They're on the events committee.
We discussed it. Well, there's like 20 people on the events committee, but I just think it's an important thing. Because it's obviously gonna be a very big event, right?
Well, I'm quite sure the events committee gonna join in. It's helping them put it on and everything.
They didn't have a quorum at the last meeting, so they weren't able to, like, actually take in business.
So, can somebody walk me through what the process of us funding this is gonna look like? So, right now, that's open. That's what we're gonna discuss.
And we're gonna discuss that at later.
I have a workshop there.
Yeah, or a memorandum of understanding or some agreement between the city and them about taxes and all that stuff.
Yeah, we gotta go through this stuff.
Well, from our perspective, we have to be very careful we don't eat up our whole events budget for the next year.
This is probably more than do it.
Well, we still may get it out of our.
Oh, yeah.
But remember,
Definitely.
revenue, and, you know, the revenue portion. That
It's got a possibility of being a
Maybe
great
a great
thing, and
fundraiser
it's got
for
a
it.
possibility of being a flop. I mean, it's just, you never know.
I'm a firm believer in risk management, so instead of having a really high ceiling or really low floor, I like to have it.
Halfway.
Yeah, they can, you know.
One thing you might consider is, sponsorships, the city in a position of not really having to come out of pocket. And that's depending on how well the city is willing to work those sponsorship situations. Where you have other, like, for example, when we set up the, electric out at the park, when it was originally set up, I worked with Stacy Tebow at the time, to get the sponsorship in place, and it was $15,000. And the city has entities that would be willing to sponsor events in situations of that nature. If the city would reach out to, the likes of Amazon, Columbia, Nutrient, several other entities around the area that you have the ability to get sponsorship from. And that can eliminate the city having to come up with that other half that, like, for example, the fee is $12,500. We've already paid the initial deposit. Instead of the city having to come up with the back end of that, or having to come up with ticket sales, you can generate that in advance if you utilize the time that you have ahead to generate sponsorship, to cut back on the cost of city involvement.
Any more discussion?
I have nothing against it from a principal perspective, I just need to make sure that we get all of our ducks in a row. So, and,
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion passed, 3-0. We on board. Okay, the next thing on the agenda,
It's only notes from council.
okay, council members, do you have anything to say? Councilman Robert Gamsby.
So we just had the audit committee yesterday. We are on track to release the auditor selection RFP for the 23rd. Should have been posted on our website then, but we're going to have to advertise in Riverbed News and Lake City Reporter. That'll happen at a later date. I'm still looking into a portal called Demand Base, which will be used for government procurement practices. And that's pretty much it from then. We're holding off on any sort of decision on the independence issue until the audit comes in from the Auditor General next week. We will be meeting again in 2 weeks or so, once that audit is in and we've had time to digest it, to discuss the auditor independence issue again. We have a meeting of the Comprehensive Planning Committee on the 30th. We're gonna get an update for the grant and what's going on with our project for updating the comprehensive plan. And that's pretty much all my updates.
Vice Mayor?
I don't have much, anything to report, just to tell you all, I thank you all for coming to these meetings and being active, voicing your opinions and your thoughts. We have committees that we still need people to join, so pass the word. And hopefully in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we will have EMS here. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna keep pushing and keep calling, they're gonna get so tired of me, so. They already know this, I do that enough. But that is all that I have to say.
Okay, I don't have that much to say, but, just keep your eyes out on the, community center. We, headed in that direction and getting it cleaned up and making it look good. And once we get the outside looking good, we're gonna start going on the inside. So keep your eyes on the community center. That is my next project to keep the things in our town going. So I know that when this council took over, I had so many telephone calls about the community center. So I said that will be one of my projects besides getting us back in town hall. So I got an A+ on that. Everybody said they was happy. So my next project is the community center. So y'all keep your eyes open on that and just give us some encouragement to keep things going. And don't try to burn me out, so. I am happy to be here and thank you all for coming out and that's it.
I moved it.
Lady, have anything?
Oh, I'm just anxious. I moved to adjourn this meeting.
I second motion.
Okay, we have the motion and second that we adjourn the council meeting. Any discussion?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, meeting adjourned. 8:15.